Hello and welcome to OnlySP's Best of 2019 ceremony. My name is Rain Radford Burns, I'm the Editor-in-Chief at Only Single Player, and today I'll be joined by some of the team to present our picks for the best games of 2019. Last year was pretty fantastic for games. Not only did we see some blockbuster titles come out of AAA studios, we also saw some incredible games debut from some talented independent developers. But instead of just talking about the games, let's get straight into the awards. First up, to present the award for Best Developer, I'd like to welcome Michael Kripe.
More gamers have come to recognize the faces behind the games we play over the years, and last year was no exception. Whether on journeys to new, exotic alien worlds or exploring environments warped by reality, tender, loving care permeated the games we played in 2019. OnlySP awarded Sony Santa Monica with our award for Best Developer last year, but making the call was extremely difficult. This year was no different. Here are the nominees for Best Developer. Remedy Entertainment for Control. Kojima Productions for Death Stranding. Capcom for Devil May Cry 5. From Software for Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Obsidian Entertainment for The Outer Worlds. House for Untitled Goose Game. And the winner of Best Developer is From Software, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Following up on some of the most successful and beloved titles of all time would be a difficult task for any developer, but From Software pulled it off with Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. With the backdrop of a mythologically bound 16th century Japan that coats the world Sekiro lays at the player's feet, it is hard not thinking of the game as one of 2019's standout titles, and From Software continues to prove that it is one of the strongest development studios in the industry. Just as there is no leader without a team to lead, a team is nothing without someone to take charge. Pulling together all the moving parts of a video game to create one cohesive vision can be quite the daunting task, but 2019 still proved to be a year of games packed with focus and creativity. These are the nominees for Best Direction. Mikhail Kasernanen, Control. Hideo Kojima, Death Stranding. Hideaki Itsuno, Devil May Cry 5. Alex Beecham, Outer Wilds. Kazunori Kadoi and Yasuhiro Enpo, Resident Evil 2. Leonard Boyarsky and Tim Kaine, The Outer Worlds. And the winner for Best Direction in 2019 is Hideo Kojima, Death Stranding. Death Stranding put players in the shoes of Sam Porter Bridges, a delivery man tasked with crossing treacherous landscapes in a post-apocalyptic world. Every step of Sam's journey was filled with intent, and this intent was outlined by Kojima's historic, creative vision. Death Stranding's focus set it above the competition in more ways than one, thanks to its commitment to taking bold first steps in gaming.
Though gameplay is what ultimately separates games as an artistic medium, developers still find ways to connect us to the stories of characters we may have never met otherwise. 2019's games made us smile uncontrollably, laugh with reckless abandon, sob, long for escape, and experience new things only possible in the world of video games. Telling a gripping story can be hard, but these nominees managed to do so with ease. Sebastian Renard, A Plague Tale: Innocence. Sam Lake, Anna McGill, and Josh Stubbs for Control. Hideo Kojima, Kenji Yano, and Shuyo Murata for Death Stranding. Robert Kurvitz, Disco Elysium. Christian Devine and Jean-Luc Cano, Life is Strange 2. Leonard Boyarsky for The Outer Worlds. And the award goes to Robert Kurvitz for Disco Elysium. The storyline of Disco Elysium is short but dense. a 20-hour adventure that will have the player ride a wave of emotions. The game addresses some dark themes with brutal honesty, leaving one feeling as bare and exposed as the detective himself, waking in a hotel room with no clothes and no memory, and the pace is perfectly balanced. However, with little moments of brightness preventing the experience from becoming unbearably bleak, Disco Elysium is masterful in its storytelling. A game's art can be used to communicate more than just a simple look to be known by. Sure, a post-apocalyptic America may not feel as terrifying without the overwhelming presence of its dark, rain-accompanied enemies from the afterlife, but that doesn't mean the art style of a game where you play as a rampaging goose didn't take advantage of its gloriously cartoonish aesthetic. Without strong artistic design, we might not fully understand what it means to see art in motion. These are the nominees for Best Art Design. Claire Chen, After Party. Jan Pulkkinen, Control. Yoji Shinkawa, Death Stranding. Daniel Alpert, The Outer Worlds. Nico Disseldorp, Stuart Gillespie Cook, Jacob Strasser, and Michael McMaster for Untitled Goose Game. And the winner of Best Art Design is Jane Pulkkinen for Control. The design of Control's world makes it one of the most impressive in recent memory, and one that is incredibly enjoyable to explore. From the case files and multimedia recordings to the correspondences, Control's world-building showcases Remedy's creativity in breathing life into the world, and it is more than deserving of this award.
The creeping footsteps of the looming undead are enough to send chills down the spine of even the most hardened gaming veterans, just as the crack of a weapon can turn an uninteresting gunfight into something totally satisfying. Audio design is the icing on top of the perfect game cake, and last year's nominees are proof. Power Up Audio, Cadence of Hyrule. Stephen Miller, Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
This is crazy.
Yeah, but we're a little crazy, aren't we?
Deal Saucer, Control. Outer Wilds. Kentaro Nakashima, Resident Evil 2. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. And the winner of Best Audio Design is Kentaro Nakashima, Resident Evil 2. Creating tension within horror games is not a new task, but one that takes a lot of skill to master, and Resident Evil 2 does just that. From the tiptoeing of the characters, to the creaking of doors, to the terrifying approach of zombies, Resident Evil 2's sound design is incredibly successful in its ability to create and maintain tension in a story that's over 20 years old. These nominees put game design at the forefront of our minds by making our time in their worlds feel memorable in all of the best ways. There is more than one way to approach game design, and somehow the following titles managed to find the perfect medium between fresh, challenging, unique, and creative. Here are your nominees for Best Game Design. Paul Ereth, Control. Hideo Kojima, Death Stranding. Robert Kurwitz, Disco Elysium. Hidehiro Goda, Resident Evil 2. Masaru Yamamura and Yuki Fukuda, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. And the winner is Robert Kurvitz, Disco Elysium. True innovation in entertainment is something of a rarity, as most avenues of storytelling have been explored. What innovation tends to mean in a modern context is the creative flair that allows various concepts to be combined in interesting and unusual ways. The creators of Disco Elysium have taken a stab at inventiveness by combining a distinctive visual aesthetic with tabletop mechanics and evocative storytelling, and the result is something truly special.
2019 games took advantage of music to such an extent that many of the year's best tracks found a way to pop up in daily listening playlists across the world. Not only did the games of last year offer music that could stand on their own, as the instruments we listened to elevated each of the following games. Here are OnlySP's nominees for Best Original Score. Danny Baranowski, Cadence of Hyrule. Ludwig Forsell, Death Stranding. Kota Suzuki, Devil May Cry 5. Yoko Shimomura, Yakiharu Ishimoto, and Tsuyoshi Sekito, Kingdom Hearts 3.
You're only everything I ever dreamed.
Andrew Pralo, Outer Wilds. And the winner of Best Original Score is Andrew Pralo, Outer Wilds. Here's a quick message from Andrew.
This was an especially personal project to me because besides the cello by David and the whistling by Alex, I played every single part one by one at my home studio over the past few years. I was very emotionally connected to the music of this game and the Nomai sound design, where I was able to craft all these very complicated guitar textures. It's quite an incredible honor to have even been considered amongst all the huge titles that came out this year. So to win this award just is amazing. I'm so incredibly grateful for Alex's trust in my vision and direction for where we could take the music and the sound design all the way from day one. And also a huge thanks for Trevor Johnson and Chuck Russum with their help on the sound design portion of the game. From the very beginning, I had hoped to craft a melody that starts off as joyful and slowly becomes very reflective and melancholic, and to play something that other people would find excitement in learning how to play and maybe picking up an instrument for the first time and learning how to play it just like the Travelers did. And I'm so incredibly grateful to have been able to work on such a special project that hits so close to home.
If the compelling stories of 2019 weren't enough to convince you that games are capable of evoking untold emotion, then surely the actors who portrayed some of the decade's standout characters will. Characters give us a lifeline to connect to even the most uninhabitable scenarios, making their presence and performances vital to the stories told in games. Some of the following nominees were a bit new to video game acting last year too, but that didn't stop them from committing to each of their respective roles. Here are the nominees for Best Performer. Mads Mikkelsen as Clifford Unger, Death Stranding. Norman Reedus as Sam Porter Bridges, Death Stranding.
The world's still broken. Same as before.
Laura Bailey as Kate Diaz, Gears 5.
I don't know. I want it out of my head. I want it to stop.
Ashley Birch as Parvati Holcomb, The Outer Worlds.
I need another drink. Right now. Before I lose my nerve.
Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis, Star Wars Jedi, Fallen Order.
You can't save them. No! Not from the Empire.
Logan Marshall Green as David, telling lies.
Listen, I need you to do me a favor, okay?
And the best performer of 2019 is Laura Bailey as Kate Diaz, Gears 5. Gears 5 was not the first time that the series has switched protagonists, but it may be the most seamless of transitions, largely due to Laura Bailey. Kate takes the centre stage of Gears 5 as she tries to uncover the nature of her family. As Kate discovers more about herself, she begins to realise that war is not always black and white. Laura Bailey nails her performance as Kate and is one of the main reasons that the game is so enjoyable.
Challenge, precision, and objective-based gameplay are often qualities that define an action game. In 2019, we saw a plethora of titles that displayed these qualities, and the category of Best Action Game seeks to honour the best of them. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Gears 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2, The Outer Worlds.
Good luck!
And the winner is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare is a great start for a revival of the sub-franchise, hopefully continuing to push the envelope with its dark tone of realistic warfare. The narrative pulls on the heartstrings of the player to tell a story of why war today is so much more convoluted than it used to be. Some think it is the best in the series, but none can deny that it is OnlySP's best action game of 2019. Adventure games share many features with action games, albeit with a stronger emphasis on puzzle solving. Here are the nominees for Best Adventure Game. After Party, The Somnium Files, Life is Strange 2, The Long Return, Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. And the winner is Life is Strange 2. At the crux of Life is Strange 2 is the central theme of family, and it is what makes it a special game. Like the first game, there is joy and sadness, frustration, anger and hope, but for entirely different reasons. A good sequel retains the flavour of the original while taking it in a new, rich and interesting direction. That is exactly what Life is Strange 2 accomplishes, and is exactly why it is so deserving of this award. Taking elements from both the action and adventure games, action-adventure games are some of the most popular within the industry. The nominees for Best Action-Adventure Game of 2019 are A Plague Tale: Innocence, Control, Death Stranding, Devil May Cry 5, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order. And the winner is Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5 does so many things right. The engrossing narrative, the understated integration of online elements, and most prominently, the stunning amount of variety in the combat mechanics. Devil May Cry 5 is truly something special, and very deserving of this award.
The role-playing genre is one of the oldest and most influential within the video game industry. By allowing players to fully immerse themselves within a role, exploring a well-defined world, and accomplishing tasks via their own agency, it's no surprise how many titles considered to be some of the greatest games of all time are RPGs. In 2019, we saw a return to form from many franchises, while new experiences took the world by storm. Here are the nominees for Best Role-Playing Game. Borderlands 3, Disco Elysium, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Greedfall, Pokemon Sword and Shield, The Outer Worlds. And the winner is The Outer Worlds. What feels like a return to form for many RPG fans, Obsidian's latest title showcases the developer at its best. The Outer Worlds provides players with a stellar role-playing experience, combined with top-of-the-line industry writing, all complete in a package that feels very familiar, yet refreshing at the same time. The Outer Worlds contains an experience that everyone can enjoy, veterans and first-timers alike. Both platforming and puzzle genres have the unique ability to contain gameplay that is simultaneously simple yet intense. These two genres are about accomplishing tasks while avoiding obstacles that seek to hinder one's progression or halt it altogether. Despite their simplistic nature, some games feature exhilarating moments that will remain with the player for years to come. The nominees for Best Platform/Puzzle Game are Degrees of Separation, Katana Zero, My Friend Pedro, Super Mario Maker 2, Untitled Goose Game, Yoshi's Crafted World. And the winner is My Friend Pedro. My Friend Pedro is worth every cent. Players are indulged with unique mechanics that are both clever and fun, allowing the creation of violent visual masterpieces. Every element of the game, from the art to the story, work together in harmony to create something magical. If players want to sit back and enjoy some senseless fun, then My Friend Pedro is a much-needed addition to any gaming library. Strategy games, by nature, require strategic thinking from players in order to accomplish difficult tasks of wit and skill. The genre found success and popularity in 2019 due to the introduction of many top-tier entries. The nominees for Best Strategy Game are Anno 1800, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, John Wick Hex, Phoenix Point, Tropico 6. And the winner is Fire Emblem 3 Houses. While being one of the Nintendo Switch's most anticipated titles, the Fire Emblem franchise has always found success within a smaller audience. All of that changed with Fire Emblem 3 Houses, as the title reached new heights on the Nintendo Switch, becoming one of the best-selling Fire Emblems in only 3 months on the market. Fire Emblem 3 Houses also brought many newcomers to the franchise, creating an experience that upheld the series' core gameplay, while offering up a title that can be enjoyed by everyone.
The sport and racing genres are veterans within the industry. With each passing year, we see developers pour their heart into their craft to continuously innovate and improve on the quality of products released in past years. Developing a sport or racing title is no small feat, and thus recognizing their talent is a must. Here are the nominees for Best Sports Racing Game. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, Dangerous Driving, Grid, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, Team Sonic Racing, and the winner is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Where some developers might exercise caution when making a kart racer in 2019, Beanox and Activision felt like it was time to resurrect an old favorite. By challenging the popular conventions of its predecessor, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled provides a kart racing experience that is refreshing to fans of the genre. By combining 2 different crash racing experiences, Nitro Fueled solidified itself on our podium of champions. There are few video game communities as passionate as the fighting community, and their passion is reflected in its games. There was a variety of titles released in 2019 that showcased their own style of fighting, providing an experience that anyone can enjoy. To honor those titles, here are the best fighting games of 2019. Crystal Crisis, Dead or Alive 6, Jump Force, Mortal Kombat 11. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Samurai Showdown. And the winner is Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11 continues the trend set by its predecessor, while improving on the finer details to perfect its gameplay. The level of customizability within Mortal Kombat 11 is unrivaled by most other fighters, with a cohesive story to boot. NetherRealm Studios continues to showcase why they're one of the best in the industry when it comes to developing a fighting game.
With the evolution of technology being an ongoing focal point of the video game industry, there are always some titles that should be remembered despite their aged existence. By offering the remake or remaster treatment to these titles, they have been given a second chance to shine again and impress audiences new and old. As video game technology improves, the result of these remakes and remasters are truly incredible and should be celebrated as such. Here are the nominees for the best remake or remaster of 2019. Catherine Full Body. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. Resident Evil 2. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. And the winner is Resident Evil 2. A proper remake of the beloved Resident Evil 2 has been something fans have requested for years. In late 2018, Capcom surprised everyone with the announcement that Resident Evil 2 would be getting the full remake treatment, with its official release only a few months later. The title didn't disappoint, as Capcom was praised for its true-to-form rendition of the original experience. Despite altering some features to align with modern gaming technology, Capcom reignited an old flame in Resident Evil 2, and seek to continue its success with the upcoming remake of Resident Evil 3. OnlySP recognizes that single-player games aren't the only available option within the industry to enjoy. In fact, we are sometimes guilty of participating in jolly cooperation every now and then. The award for Best Multiplayer is for a game in 2019 that features a unique multiplayer offering. Here are the nominees. Apex Legends. Borderlands 3. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Death Stranding. Luigi's Mansion 3. World War Z. And the winner is Death Stranding. Despite never actually interacting with another player online, Death Stranding's implementation of multiplayer is one of the most unique methods, seamlessly bridging the distance in player experience. Hideo Kojima sought to reconnect a broken society through Death Stranding, and by encouraging positivity during dark times, he accomplishes that vision. Whether it is offering up valued resources to contribute towards the construction of a road shared between players, or leaving behind crafted items for others to collect and utilize, Death Stranding's multiplayer is about valuing the needs of strangers. By acting selfless and contributing to the environment around you, Death Stranding rewards players with gratification as you lessen the suffering of others.
Virtual reality is now a staple among the industry, and 2019 saw even more advancements in the field. Here are the nominees for Best VR Game. Blood and Truth. Concrete Genie. Doctor Who, The Edge of Time. Golem. Wolfenstein, Cyberpilot. And the winner is Concrete Genie. Though not entirely playable in virtual reality, Concrete Genie's VR takes full advantage of the PlayStation VR's technology to create something beautiful and magical. The concept itself may not be entirely new or unique, but the execution makes Concrete Genie one of the best games to experience in virtual reality to date. The lead up to releasing a game can induce painful amounts of stress, so putting the game out for the world to see before it becomes a finished product can be even more intimidating. Still, a select few early access games in 2019 made an incredible impact, even in their very early stages. Here are the nominees for the best early access debut. Bright Memory, Postal 4, Risk of Rain 2, Session, Shattered, Tale of the Forgotten King. And the winner for Best Early Access Debut in 2019 is Shattered, Tale of the Forgotten King. Shattered, Tale of the Forgotten King puts players in the middle of a relentlessly bleak world, and even in the early access, the project has a focus that can't be ignored. Using its influences as a point to grow from, what Redlock Studios have done thus far with its challenging gameplay is nothing short of impressive. Convincing players that they should invest in something they can't play yet can be pretty difficult, yet the past decade of gaming has seen an army of indie developers rising up to promise fans a world of unique games that can only come without the restraints of a larger company. Sites like Kickstarter and Fig have given small-name studios the chance to showcase game concepts to fans, making 2019 poised to produce plenty of solid new additions to the ever-growing list of promising crowdfunding successes. Here are OnlySP's nominees for the most promising crowdfunding success. Afterlight, Away, the survival series, Chernobylite, Chorus, an adventure musical,
of those who rend a limb from
Dreamscaper, Proteus, and the winner for most promising crowdfunding success in 2019 is Chorus, an adventure musical. Here is a message from developer Summerfall Studios.
Wow, thank you so much for giving us the award of most promising crowdfunding success. We love Chorus so much, and we're so glad that everyone else has found it as cool and innovative and interesting as we do. We can't thank you enough. Thank you.
And here we are, the final award of the show. Clearly 2019 was a pretty incredible year for gaming, and I'm surprised we even managed to narrow this category down to 10 nominees. But without further ado, here are the nominees for Best Game.
Not what we get for playing too close to the sun.
And the winner of Best Game for 2019 is Disco Elysium. Here's a quick message from the developer at Zalm.
Hello. Thanks to the only single player community for picking us out. It's a great honor. We never thought we would make it this far, but here we are with you, our fans, our players. We're super grateful to everybody who's played, who's told their friends about us, who in turn have told their friends about us. It's been a great ride, and I'm happy that you're all along for it. So thank you once again.
And that brings us to the end of the show. Congratulations to all of the nominees and well done to all of the winners. You're the reason we love video games, so don't ever stop making them. Thanks for watching. For all the latest news, reviews, previews, editorials and interviews surrounding the world of single player gaming, stay tuned to Only Single Player at onlysp.com.